Hello everyone, Mighty Benaya here, back with the Community 500. Wanted to go over a couple of the updates on where everybody is placing in the rankings, kind of what's going on around the world. Today is about halfway through day 3, so wars can have been declared between players now, and capitals, AI capitals have been taken. I've actually took one myself. Have been taken by players. So it's starting to shape up who is going to be in the lead, who's going to work together, who's going to be enemies. So really interesting things happening. Let's first look at the rankings so that we can see where the coalitions are, and then we will look at some of the conquered territories. You'll notice I was in morale map mode, and that is so that we can see what has been conquered. So currently in first place, and I really say that with some air quotes, is World Union. They have 7 players. So they have a full coalition of 7 players. The thing I want you to notice whenever we're going through this is anywhere where it says 4, that's a player who has taken out an AI. If they have a score of 3, then they likely have not taken out an AI capital yet. They may have an additional territory, but they haven't taken a capital yet. And so their morale is lower, and that means that their total point score is lower. So anywhere that says 4, those are individuals who have taken out an AI capital. So World Union currently is in first, and they have taken out at least 3 AI capitals. Intocable is in second. They've taken out at least 2 AI capitals, and it looks like there are 7 of them as well. And they seem to be mostly in India, which is where I'm at. First team is currently in mostly France, it looks like. So France and India coalitions. Asian Shadows of War is currently in third, and they've taken out 2 AI capitals, and they are missing a member. So they can adopt 1 additional member into their coalition, and they appear to be mostly in Southeast Asia. I know that Chronogod is in I believe that's the Philippines. Just looking at the map, the flag. So that means that they are all over Asia, because I know that Mighty D Fellow at the bottom, he is next to me, and I am in like Central Asia. Moving on down, Monty Python, they have not taken, as far as I can tell from the score, any AI capitals, but there are 6 of them, so they are able to adopt an additional member. And this is the Boot Brigade bunch. They are in Turkey. I have been watching kind of what's going on there, and there's a lot of mistrust between this group and some other individuals that I'm familiar with in that area. So we'll see what happens. But they've been relatively peaceful. They haven't taken very many AI capitals, but that may be because they are gathering forces for a large anti-player push. So we'll see how that goes. Todos para uno y una para todos. I hope that I said that somewhat decently. They also appear to be in India, I believe. That may be African nations. Sometimes it's hard to tell with some of the flags. Vincent Takar Izales looks like Volta, but that's not right. But Nando, he has 6 points. So that tells me that he's taken multiple capitals. He's been very aggressive, and he's kind of carrying the team as of right now. But that also probably means that he has a very low army. So he's probably relying on his teammates to help cover the bases, to help defend him as he goes in and he takes out those AI capitals. We have Thre Winwers I'm not sure if that is a joke or if there's just poor translator or something there, but they seem to be Eastern Europe, and again we have the 6 points from multiple conquered AIs, with multiple allies helping guard. We have La Grande Vadrouille, which they seem to be in Northern Europe, I believe. And then we have two sets of four, so two AIs taken out, and three allies that have not done any conquering. Opros Livy Ronins. Opros 47 Livy Ronins. That is not who I am facing. I recognize Opera, but I'm not sure where. I think these guys are south of me, but that's also Ronan's, which is where I'm at. So I'm going to have to look at that a little bit further. I will look at that as soon as we get done here. Dioses, they are in the Americas. I know Linares is in Cuba, and I recognize most of these flags as states of the United States. So you've got Alabama, you've got Georgia, Mississippi, and I'm not sure what power it is. I don't recognize that one, but United States, and they have one capital sniped. Phoenix of Fury. Looks like no capital sniped yet. They are in South America, but there are 5 of them, so they have a good shot of continuing. Again, it's early in the game, and all you need is a couple cap snipes to boost up in points, and they could be first in no time. Shadows down here with some European nations, Central Europe, and they also have not taken out any caps. But again, they could be waiting on, gathering their forces for an anti-player strike. The Orient Order, with General Power of Us, is in here. Looks like they have taken 2 capitals, and there are only 4 of them, so we're getting to smaller coalitions. And I believe they are in the Middle East. Reaper Team District. Now, I do recognize the name. I don't know what the alliance is, but they are in South America. And Hagelwolf is the first player that we've seen that has a score of 2. So it looks like Hagelwolf got hit pretty hard by somebody. Maybe his capital was taken. Maybe he's just having some struggles with another player who's taking his territory. Really need to jump in to aid him there. But that's where the Reaper Team District is. Wolves of Odin Unite is Ben Franklin, Winchester, and Tigson, and I believe that is Western U.S., and they all have taken a capital from an AI. Wow. Okay. BDFB BGS is in, I believe that is Northern Europe, and they've taken 2 AI capitals. And then we have 2 players that have solo taken out multiple AI. That is a very high score for day 3. So we'll see what they did. I do know that there has been a couple of GM uses. I'm not making an accusation here, but it could be that there were a couple of GM uses and these players are no longer in the game. So that could be what that is. Or they could just be really incredible players that we'll have to keep our eyes on. Confederation is Eastern United States, and they've taken out 1 capital, and there's 3 of them. Sangzi is rocking it with 6 points. That's multi-cap snipes. We've got Polar Cap. For a half a second, I thought that was Polar Crap, and I was going to be very impressed and laugh really hard at the double P, but it was just my minor dyslexia taking over. They seem to be very North America with 3 players, and then we have Obi Dory with 2 players, and the rest seem to be playing solo. So let's real briefly go through and take a look at where there has been some conflict. So you can see several conflicts in Spain, most of the AIs being taken out. Most of central France is fine. But there are a couple of AI nations that have been taken out there. England, much the same, the full UK. Then as we come over here in Italy and Eastern Europe, several AIs down. And then as we go up through a lot of different territory that's been taken over here, a lot of territory there. Of course, it's less territory than it looks like because they're big territories, right? Now that's a double capital snipe. That is very well done by Venomous Stripe. So he now has 100% morale, and it's because he took a cap probably there, and he took a cap up here, and so that double morale boost has made him gone up 20%. So he's at 100% morale. This is a little bit of AI sniping here, but not a ton. More down as we get into Saudi Arabia. Ooh, and then in Africa we have a couple of spots here and there, but nothing too big. That is interesting. Northern Mozambique. You crazy genius who sailed across the sea to take just this little capital from an AI. That's a little crazy. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on Jeff Fafa here. That's pretty awesome. A little bit of cap sniping as we go through India and Asia. A little bit up here, not too much. And then in Australia, there were only a couple of AI to take on, but several of them have been eliminated. A little bit more there. And then as we make our way to South America, not a lot has happened. You can see a little bit of conflict. A lot happened in Mexico. And then as we move to the north, little pockets of AIs have been destroyed. And then over here, that is why I remember talking about Barbanore. He has taken on all of this AI in Iceland and has gained quite a lot from it. So the good thing about being an island nation in a game like this is you can 1v1 an AI and it's not a problem. The bad news is he's now stuck on an island until cruisers, really, because it's going to be difficult for him to muster more forces to do a naval invasion. So really excited to continue this game with all of you. Really excited to show news reports as we continue. There were a lot more coalitions this time than there were last time. If I missed any and you want your coalition, your alliance to be named, but you don't want to form a coalition, send me a note and I'm happy to call them out. I do know that there were several. I remember Pride of Lions from the last comment that I did. I believe they're in Europe. There are several coalitions, several alliances that are in Europe that are vying for control, and not all of them want to form coalitions because they don't want to out themselves, right? So I'm excited to continue watching this game. Let me know if you have any suggestions on additional news reports. Soli Deo Gloria, and I'll see you next time.